Welcome to the Deep Dive. Our mission today, well, we're diving deep into the world of Vietnamese rapper Pháo.
That's right. We've got this great source, a transcript from Vietcetera's Gen Z Troyan YouTube series.
And it really gives us a fantastic window into, her personality, her journey, how she creates, her whole perspective, really.
Yeah, on competitions, criticism, all sorts of things.
So we're basically going to unwrap what she shared in that interview.
It's quite revealing, especially seeing how someone navigates the music world so young. You get her voice quite directly.
Absolutely. So, okay, let's start with who Pháo is, based on this. She's 20, from Hanoi originally, but she mentions moving to Saigon about 6 months before the interview and how that felt like a really different experience.
Yeah, she said it felt fuller, like experiencing more of life, the people, the culture down there.
And what's really interesting is this contrast she paints of herself.
Oh, yeah. How so?
Well, she says she likes to lead, identifies as an Aries, has this very energetic, outward-facing vibe.
Right, that releasing energy thing she talked about.
Exactly. But then at home, totally different, calm, maybe even a bit shy.
Huh. Which explains why her parents apparently thought she was this quiet, sort of timid kid.
Right, and it makes that moment they found out she was a rapper just golden.
Oh, the king of rap reveal. Yeah, imagine seeing your quiet daughter suddenly performing rap on national TV.
Must have been a shock. She did explain, though, why she talked more about music with friends than family.
It wasn't about hiding it, was it?
No, not really. It was more about, shared understanding, her friends in music, her peers. They got the technical stuff, the process.
Whereas her parents just saw, okay, she's happy when she talks about this music thing. Which is nice, but...
Bit different, yeah. It speaks to finding people who really understand your passion, doesn't it?
Totally. That tribe idea.
And speaking of identity, the name thing is interesting. Pháo versus Dio Huynh, her real name.
She used Dio Huynh early on, right, for some songs.
Yeah, but then landed on Pháo, felt it fit her personality better.
And her mom finding out her stage name because Tu Phu Hun got so massive, that's kind of hilarious.
It really is. Her public persona literally introduced itself to her own family.
And her friends see it too, right? They have this contrast.
Yeah, they describe her as having a strong personality, noticing that gap between maybe her appearance or her real name and this powerful energy in her music.
It's less about being fake, more about having different sides to you, I guess.
Which seems pretty self-aware for 20.
Definitely. And she talks about how she's evolved, even just from 17 to 20.
Right. She mentioned being more open now, calmer maybe, though still a bit impulsive sometimes.
Yeah. But the key seems to be better emotional control, balancing things out a bit more.
And that personal growth seems really connected to how she thinks about competition.
Oh, absolutely. Those reality shows like King of Rap apparently had a big impact there.
How did her view change? What was it like before?
Well, initially she saw it as, pretty aggressive, like showing off how strong you are. Competing, like displaying power, I think was the phrase.
Yeah. Okay, very confrontational.
Yeah. But after going through the competition, that shifted.
How so?
She realized it wasn't just about beating someone else in that moment. It was more fundamental.
More about
making yourself better, using that pressure cooker environment to hone your own skills, improve your own music. That became the real competition for her.
So winning or losing Thang Thua isn't the be-all and end-all anymore.
She's pretty practical about it. She's like, yeah, winning often comes with money, sure.
Right.
And she has this great line.
Oh, yeah.
Something like, any foolishness must be paid for with cash, and what can be paid for with money is still very cheap.
Wow, okay. That's quite a perspective.
Right, but applied to her career, she thinks focusing on the quality of her product, her skills, that's a more sustainable way to earn and succeed than just chasing trophies.
That feels really mature, especially in that kind of industry.
It really does. And this links back to her creative process, expressing those different sides of herself.
Right, the edgy guy gawk side versus maybe something cuter or more playful. Is she worried about being inauthentic if she chooses one?
She doesn't frame it like that, not like sacrificing anything. It's more like selecting, choosing which genuine part of her fits the song she's making right now.
Both sides are still her, essentially.
Exactly. She used that analogy. What was it?
Oh, the film analogy, like a director's cut versus the theatrical release.
That's the one. Yeah. The director might have their full vision, but you pick what works best to connect with the audience for that specific release. Yeah. Still the artist's work, just curated.
So how does she know when a song is, ready? What's the test?
It's simple, actually, she said. I have to like it first.
Okay. Her satisfaction comes first.
Totally. Her belief is if she's genuinely happy with it, then the audience that connects with her vibe, they'll naturally like it too.
That's a good way to stay grounded, and you can kind of hear that range already, right? Like Tu Futan versus Kiabong Dai, different feelings.
Definitely. She's clearly exploring those different facets already.
Okay, so shifting from creating the music to, like, the career path itself,
Yeah.
she talks about feeling a bit lost, like a nomad.
Yeah, at a crossroads. And feeling this need to break through. Bootfa was the word she used.
Breakthrough how? What's the plan?
It sounds like trying new styles deliberately. Maybe stuff that's more feminine, playful, softer.
Because people expect the edgy rapper, the rapping chua.
That seems to be the idea. She feels that's the image people have. That maybe slightly sour or shark sound. And maybe after the last few tough years.
The pandemic years, probably.
Right. She feels it's time to put out more positive energy. So it's artistic exploration, but also maybe reading the room a bit.
Makes sense. And she's got backup plans too, right? If the new rap direction doesn't fly.
Yeah, she's thinking ahead, open to singing, songwriting for others, even MCing. She mentioned taking an MC class, building out the toolkit.
Smart. Now that story about the MV she deleted, that really stood out.
Oh, man. Yeah. At 18, pouring all her savings into this passion project MV.
Only to decide it didn't fit her image and just delete it. That's rough.
It is. But the lesson she took from it was that quote we mentioned earlier.
The one about paying for foolishness with cash.
Yeah, and how things solvable with money are ultimately cheap compared to bigger life problems. It reframes the whole thing.
So she doesn't call it a failure thut.
No, she called it a stumble, buhut, like a misstep that actually gives you momentum to push off from for the next step.
That's a powerful mindset shift. From failure to stumble, I like that.
And she seems pretty confident about her future work, even knowing more stumbles might happen.
That resilience is key. And talking about support, relationships come up too. Her partner's been there since the start of her rap journey.
You know, quite a long time. And she puts the relationship strength down to trust and honesty. Ta-ta-ta.
And that honesty connects directly to how she views criticism, right?
Exactly. She actually values the really blunt, almost harsh feedback.
Yeah. Like people telling her, your rap is terrible, or you're not even as good as a rap fan. Ouch.
Right. But she sees that as valuable because it's real. It makes her improve. She contrasts it with, easy praise that doesn't mean much.
So even criticism from anti-fans, she tries to find the nugget of truth in it.
She tries to filter it, yeah. Not just dismiss it all as hate. Of course, that's not easy.
No kidding, especially online. Must take time to build that filter.
She admitted it did. Learning to really accept constructive criticism wasn't instant. It's about telling the difference between someone trying to help you grow and someone just trying to tear you down.
And finding people who will actually give you the tough feedback
Is rare and incredibly valuable in her view.
makes you think about who you listen to, doesn't it? Okay, but then there's the flip side, the audience connection. That story from The Hero 2022.
Oh, yeah, where the judges criticized her, but then she saw her fans online defending her fiercely.
That must have felt amazing.
She said it made her feel really loved and validated. Not necessarily that the judges were wrong, but that her audience connected with her, flaws and all.
That sense of acceptance, which ties into her thoughts on perfection, right?
Perfectly. She basically says aiming for perfection is impossible. Someone will always find fault.
So instead,
Focus on the people who do support you and what they like about you, even the quirks.
like her chua voice, the sour one.
Exactly. Some hate it, some love it. She sees it as something she can even make her signature sign, learn to balance it, use it effectively in a song, rather than trying to erase it.
So embracing the uniqueness, finding harmony, and trusting that audience connection.
Yeah, it's kind of self-acceptance that still listens to feedback, but isn't totally defined by it.
So looking forward, she mentioned a new song coming up, Matngagde Changnang.
A Day Without Sun, yeah. She described the message as positive about effort, belief in yourself.
Leading to luck and opportunities finding you.
Pretty much. And she shared that quote from her friend Fook, too.
Oh, the one about Bogang and Saigon.
That's it. In all trying hard, there's always an incident or problem. And those problems are actually what drive us to try harder, to develop.
That's a great way to look at challenges. Reframing setbacks again.
Definitely. She sounds excited for people to hear it.
Seems like she's really processing her journey and putting it into the music with this maybe newer energy.
Yeah, it feels like a conscious step.
Okay, well that pretty much wraps our deep dive into Phau's interview. It's fascinating to see her evolution, isn't it?
It really is, from how she saw herself to competition to creativity.
Learning from that deleted MV stumble, valuing that tough feedback, and finding strength in her audience.
She really embraces the whole journey, the bumps included, finding value in honesty, connecting with people who get her. It's
Mhm.
quite a powerful approach.
Her perspective on growth, competition, how she handles criticism. What does exploring her journey make you think about your own path? How do you handle those inevitable stumbles or critiques?
Definitely gives you something to chew on.
Thanks for taking this deep dive with us today.